Summernats attracts some of the best cars in the world. I tell you who builds some of the best cars in the world, Howard Astill. We've popped past Howard's workshop to say g'day, see what's going on, because he's building a car that's going to go all the way to Summernats in January. Who remembers this thing? Pioneer Coupe, then flag car. Unbelievable. Mate, listen, I don't think it doesn't matter if you're a Ford guy or a Holden guy. You've got to appreciate the stuff Howard builds, right? I think you're ringing this, right? And Howard magically appears. I need a Ford built. How are you, Howard?
G'day, mate. What's going on?
Good. What's happening?
Hey, I was hanging out, watching the boys work.
There's lots going on. It seems. I mean, we don't want to talk about lots of stuff, but let's jump forward 5 minutes in the video, but not. This thing is in the build.
Mate, it's been going on. Seems like it's been going on forever, but I mean, we're actually making some ground now. So we're almost getting to the end of getting all the wiring sorted, knowing where it's going. So the owner of the car, it's got a mate in Queensland, Paul from Anything Racing. So he's the guy doing it, the ECU conversion to make this big engine run and all that sort of stuff. So he was down. We've made some decisions, and yeah, we're moving forward.
Yeah, nice. It's a big engine. It is, mate.
Well, it's been in the mag and all that sort of stuff. So
Street Machine magazine had a bit of a
there was a bit of a story on it,
yep.
And it was Mill of the Month a few months back. So it's a John Case Boss 9, so Hemi-headed Ford, come out in 69 Mustang, if I remember correctly, for NASCAR.
Yep.
And then this is like a full aftermarket, so there's nothing really Ford about it,
yep.
Except the concept's a bit like a Hemi. It's not a Hemi anymore, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of motor for a car that's going to be very, very special, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it just keeps evolving and growing. Mm-hmm. And midway through the build, the owner decided we'd do full FG dash and electrics.
Yeah, wow.
So that's been the real crazy thing on the head, basically, and trying to work all that stuff out. So we're nearly there with that. So we've been lengthening wire looms and making all of that fit in with the plan that we'll actually have ABS, we'll have cruise control, trip computers.
All these kind of creature comforts you get on an FG, but in an XC.
Yeah, steering columns that slide in and out and all that. So the whole seating position's FG, fly-by-wire throttle, all that sort of stuff.
And from chats we've had, obviously that's not by chance. That's because you cut out the inside of the XC floor pan and slotted in an FG. Yeah,
so basically has the floor, the firewall, and then we've adopted the XC, so the 78 model external, and then the internal of the plenum is FG, and then we've made the wipers and all work. So now we've got the best of both worlds. Outside's the 78 model, inside's 2012.
Yep.
And it'll have the seats, the console, dual climate control, all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. And the ergonomics of the car means that when you're sitting in there, even the seatbelt positions and all are all FG. So that whole late model feel.
Yeah, nice. It's going to look like a really, obviously, neat XC, on the exterior.
So it's XC sedan, not on its guts, pretty low, but it's got big wheels. So it's a 2012 with a 335 on the back, so a big wheel on the rear, 18 on the front, Cobra front spoiler, all of that under the bonnet. So it'll be clean, painted bumpers, bit of chrome around the windows, just a nice, clean, dark colour. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the colour yet, but it's a nice dark colour.
We'll have to tune in, obviously.
And then the trim will be FG, but we're going to trim the seats and all down so they've got a bit more of a squarer feel, so they don't look like an FG. They'll have that feel about it.
Yeah, we've talked to trimmers and stuff on the podcast before, and they've talked about how everyone does all the motor and stuff, and sometimes it gets the trim and they're like,
I've got no money.
$5,000, but you've just, it's been 150 on the car. It's like
and that,
if you budget
so trimmers nearly last. So trimmer and paint.
Yeah.
They got 10 grand's worth of wheels and don't want to spend 10 grand on trim.
Understand.
So what I've have done in the past and will continue to do is offer to people to be able to sit down and spend, normally takes about 2-4 hour goes to plan the car, do a back of an envelope budget that says you're going to spend this much money, and then realistically depends how much they're going to do, what sort of shop's going to do the work, not necessarily me, just a shop, what sort of budget, and then are you really on the right track with what money you have to build the car that you're dreaming about.
It's cool you get to tell the story now through your YouTube channel, so Astill Design, I believe.
Yeah, so Astill Design.
Yep.
And this car, obviously, the build at current, so it's called This Week at Astill Design. We've got some plans for that, so if you stay tuned, we've got some exciting things going to happen with that hopefully in the next few months.
There you go.
And the aim now is to get this car ready for Summernats this year.
Yeah,
so
cool.
I think the clock's ticking, it's about 32 weeks.
100%, mate.
Yeah.
What about if you don't mind, we treat people to a little look. We don't have to go through all the stuff, a little look at some of the stuff, the nostalgia stuff that you've got.
Sure.
Let's go for a walk. This room, mate, I've been in here before. I'm not going to lie and pretend I haven't, but I love that you've got all this stuff.
This is the brag room, mate. Better known as the shared, the party room, whatever.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's the gym. I've been on this health kick for 6 or 8 months now, so the treadie's come in.
You are looking very, very healthy, mate.
I
need to take a leaf out of your book.
Yeah, you eat too much, mate. So yeah, I mean, it's I don't throw much out.
Yeah.
So all my trophies and memorabilia and stuff that I made, toys and shit that I made as a kid. And
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of stuff, and I mean, I really appreciate having it and all the effort that my family and friends have put in to achieve what we have. I mean, it's not a one-man band. It takes more than one, as you know, to build a car. That's normally friends, and then my missus putting up with me, Heather, has been putting up with me for 40 odd years.
The old car builds are good tests.
Yeah, it is, mate. So that and houses tend to put a bit of pressure on.
Yeah.
So there's actually more than this that's probably stuck in the cupboards and things, but when you get your first feature, in a magazine, you frame it, and then you get another one, and then you run out of room. So we've done it for so long.
And times that by about 400. And then
Yeah, we've done it for so long, and then obviously Summernats memorabilia, number plates and trophies. And
what I like, I don't think I've ever pointed this out to you before, though. Obviously the workshops in the back and the cars that get built, these aspirational, high-level, world-class cars. I know. I like that you walk through here, and it's like maybe it fills you full of inspiration and some of the past and nostalgia just before you go through the door into there. You sort of take a bit of this with you. Whether it's subconsciously or something, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, for me, building cars was always about winning trophies and doing shows and Summernats, and I love the limelight, clearly. But I mean, that was
I don't at all.
So that's what drove me to do it. And now that I'm doing it for other people, it's all about helping them achieve their dreams. But people know where it comes from. They know who's behind it.
Yeah.
So that's what drives me to keep going out there,
Yeah, right. Is that a different skill when you build a car for you than to build a car for someone else successfully where it's a balancer? Are they two different things?
I guess it is. I mean, for me, the Pioneer Keep's a good example. I built the first car I built, so the original Rock Solid was my car for me. I'd been reading American magazines and I took it to shows thinking this might do all right. Yeah. Got there and found I'd sort of headed off in the wrong direction in some places and it didn't score so well. Okay. So that point I decided I'm going to try and win some trophies. So we modified 1 to become Rock Solid 2 and then so on 3, 4, and then I got really hooked up in the graphics and all, primarily for judging points. I don't necessarily like purple pinky cars, but no one else had one, so when you look at innovation and design that the judges are looking for, having a colour no one else has got puts a little feather in your cap. Yeah. So the cars sort of got to a point where they weren't, what was in my head as in what would be the perfect car for me. It was more about what I thought the judges and the public would vote for. So when we built the Pioneer Coupe, it was built to try and win Street Machine of the Year. So big wheels, big motor, big stereo, because I'm a research guy, as you probably know now.
I don't think I had a mate that did not have that car on their wall.
Yeah, so when I did the research, it turns out, so it was voted on by the readers. Right? When you actually do the research, the majority of the readers of Street Machine were aged 16 to 25. So what a 16-year-old kids like. Yeah. Big tyres, blown motors. So that's why I built that car, based around the criteria of what winning that trophy was to get people to vote for it.
If you Google, which I have before, the Pioneer Coupe, that picture of it driving down the main road, I mean... in
Melbourne?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So we did that when we won Street Machine of the Year, and we tied with Darren Macbeth. Yeah. We were actually at the photo studio. I said, look, we'd really like to do a road shot, and we've got an idea if you guys are keen. So we actually both trailered the cars around and we were stuck around the corner. We unloaded them
Yeah.
And then we had a guy out in the street waiting for the tram to come, and then we pulled out in front of the tram to make him, so he had to sit there.
Yeah. It's a killer shot.
And then they had guys walking across the pedestrian crossing so that we couldn't move.
Yeah.
So the photographer could get set up and take the shot. So it was pretty well staged, but it looks cool. Yeah.
No doubt we could tell stories all day, mate.
Could do.
All day. Thanks for your time today. Just wanted to come through, check out a bit of the car, obviously, a bit of what's going on here, and just touch base because we know you've got a lot leading up to Summernats to get this car there.
Yep.
So, yeah, thanks for your time, Howard.
Appreciate dropping in.
More than welcome.
Always
Thanks for
happy to
having us,
have a
mate. Thanks for having us. Check out Howard's YouTube channel, Astill Design.
Thank you. Mad.
Feeling thirsty, mate. Feeling thirsty. What have we got in here? Eh? Corona. Very nice. Here we go. Hey, hey.
Bloody hell, he turned your back for 2 minutes, and what's he doing?
Have a few beers, mate. What's going on?
That suits you.
Suits me.
Well, a bigger one.
Here I am with a Holden man with a Ford hat on. What's going on here?
Wonderful, mate. Wonderful.
Mad.
I might get you another hat like that. I like that. That looks good.